Hi everyone, Daniel here, creator of the Relationship Model of Addiction, and I am here to be a guiding light for you on your recovery journey as you transition out of healthy, addictive relationships and into emotionally nourishing relationships. For this segment of the last several weeks, I've been talking about the second stage of recovery, which is developing a relationship with yourself. What does that mean? What does that entail? This is what's in store for you after you break up. Now, to develop the relationship with yourself, you know what I want to do today is I want to talk about the overall relationship model of addiction that I developed, and in terms that are much easier to understand, that go cut directly to your heart and life, and then tie that back to the developing a relationship with yourself. So let me explain to you that the simplest version of the relationship model of addiction is the need to love, our need to love, and what happens when it's denied. This is really the heart and soul. This is what the relationship model of addiction is about. As human beings, we have a need for love. We have a need to connect. When that need is met, all is pretty good. We can develop a self, we can develop a life, a purpose, connect with other people, and have a very fulfilling life. When our need for love is denied, there's pain, there's frustration, there's low self-worth, there's insecure, all kinds of damaging, difficult, painful feelings and identities related to yourself. So what happens when your need for love is denied? Defenses kick in. There's pain, and the more pain there is, the greater the need to relieve that pain, and you'll be that much more predisposed to becoming addicted and finding a means of relief, or find relationships where somehow those unmet emotional needs somehow get met, but at the expense of yourself, in a codependent way, where your well-being and self-worth, as I discussed previously, are externally based. So I want to talk about what the need to love, what is that about? Christian Pankhurst, the Heart Intelligence guy, came up with a definition of love that really speaks to me, that really resonates with me. And he defined love as the feeling of being felt by another person. When you're expressing yourself, love is when you know and feel that the other person is getting and feeling you. That's what he says love is. And it really, really resonates. So you could use that definition for what love is, the need to feel felt and gotten by another human being. Other definitions or other ways I would describe the need for love, or what love is about, is the need to connect with other people, the need for understanding, the need to have someone there who believes in you, who's by your side, who is there for you. And with that experience, when you're loved, you feel very strong and whole in yourself, you feel better about yourself, and you start to believe life becomes more fulfilling, more purposeful, because you have this belief that you can, whatever you want in life, you can create, because there was someone there at a young age that believing in you and there for you and loving you. So I understand that when you're in the process of recovery from addictions, chances are this is something that you missed out on. Chances are the need for love for you had been denied. And so you're an adult now, and so what do you do? What does this look like? What happens then? How do you get this need met if you never had it? So as I was discussing before, the first stage of recovery is breaking up, where you break up with the means of relief, and you need to break up in order to create space where you can begin for yourself to emerge and for you to realize that there's more going on inside of you than you ever imagined, because you spent your whole life in an addictive mode, defending, looking for relief, defending against feelings, cutting off from your feelings, and ultimately cutting off from yourself. So you were never really you were never really tuned into all that life and rich emotion and experience that there is inside of you, and resources that were untapped because you were in your addiction. So when you break up in this initial stage of recovery, you're opening up space then for you to emerge, for yourself to emerge, where this whole richness and resource reservoir of experience that was always denied, you were cut off from, begins to bubble up. And then you all of a sudden have a whole new experience of yourself and living. Initially, there's a period there where of nothingness, of a void. And this is a very difficult place to be in, and to have faith that you're going to move through. But eventually, as you move through this and allow yourself to have faith to get through this, what's going to start happening is that your awareness is going to be switched on. You're going to your self-awareness is going to become heightened, and you're going to start becoming aware of what's going on inside of you in a way that you never did before. Your experience, remember I defined self as when awareness meets experience. So after you break up, the beginning of developing the relationship with yourself is about switching on your awareness and beginning to connect with what your experience is. And when you do that, you become your own source of love for yourself, and you provide what was missing for you. That need to love first gets met by you. You are a rich, vibrant, radiant entity with unlimited resources and potential for you to provide yourself all the love and guidance and everything that you're looking for, everything that's been missing. It begins at home. You begin developing that relationship with yourself and being a resource for yourself. So this is a very, very powerful part of the process. So again, to kind of recap this, developing a relationship with yourself. Well, first, what the relationship model of addiction is about is the need for love and what happens when it's denied. And as you enter into the second stage of recovery, developing a relationship with yourself, this is when your awareness begins to become, it gets ignited and awakened, and you become aware and connected to what's going on inside of you. And when this happens, awareness meets experience, your experience, all of a sudden you become a living, breathing, nourishing, inspiring, giving entity to yourself. You provide everything that's missing for yourself. And until you actually experience this, it's a matter of having faith that all of this is inside of you, and it's only going to be a matter of time before you can tap into it and receive all that good energy from within yourself. So this is what developing your relationship with yourself is about. It's allowing awareness to kick in for you to connect with your experience, and ultimately you be the bearer of and the provider of love for yourself. And then as you move through this stage of developing a relationship with yourself, you'll be more fulfilled, you'll be more nourished. All those holes that were there that you were looking to fill will be already filled by you, and the pain that you have from unmet needs will be greatly diminished. And then you'll be able to go out into the world and connect with other people from a place of being grounded within yourself, of having a relationship with yourself. So that is the lesson for today. It's about what the relationship model of addiction is about, the need for love and what happens when it's denied, and ultimately developing a relationship with yourself means being the bearer of love that's been missing, and that need had been denied. You're going to be fixing it and providing it for yourself, so it's no longer denied, and your life is going to become totally different than what it's been up to that point. So, okay, that was the recap. So I just want to close now by saying to you that I'm speaking to you about recovery, and I really want to know from you how your recovery is going for you, whether you have any questions about it, and what are the challenges that you're having, and whether these stages that I'm talking to you about, whether they resonate with you, whether you relate to them, and whether you're using these tools and this understanding in your life, and see whether it's transforming yourself and you're moving through that transition from unhealthy relationships to healthy ones. I really want to know from you about that. Please let me know. I want to hear stories. I want to hear your experience and your experiences in recovery, and I want to be able to respond to them, and I could use them, I could speak to them as I receive them and read them. I will be responding to them and incorporating any of those questions and comments and struggles and challenges that you tell me about. I will be responding to them. So until then, I'll see you next time. The quality of your relationships is the quality of your life.